What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Healthy Living Sessions podcast. I'm glad you could join again, and I'm recording this actually on my birthday, and it's just something I've really been thinking about. Of course, with another year, gone by, you tend to reflect back on the things that you did in the past year, and there's been a lot of changes in my life. And a lot of that contributes to not only what I've done to try and push myself, but also those around me. And that's a huge factor is people that are around you. And really what I want to talk about is the fact that there can be a lot of changes that happen in a single year. A lot of times we tend to think about, this weekend, next week, this next month, something really close. And Ed Milet talks about how we overestimate what we can do in a year and underestimate what we can do in a decade. And I think that is so true, but I want to talk about just a year span. And sometimes we may overestimate that, but I think a lot of times we do tend to underestimate that as well. I think Ed is right in what he says, especially when we try to dedicate to a goal. And it's more so that we try and plan out 1 year and think we can get so much done in that year, but then we don't plan anything out for that whole decade because we can't think that far. And that's a very hard thing to do, is think that far in advance, think about all the things you want to do. But there's so much that we can do in one single year. And just to name off a few things that happened to me over this past year was that I fell in love with an amazing girl, got engaged to this amazing girl, started a podcast, did my first bodybuilding show, and celebrated 1 year of, shouldn't say celebrate it, but, hit the 1 year mark of my father being gone. So again, that's why I say not a celebration. And also made a huge career change. So a lot of things happened. And some of those, sad, some are scary, some are amazing, happy that they happen. But a lot of different things happen. Of course, I, made a lot of new friends and built the relationships that I had with others over that past year. And those are just, probably the bigger things that really happened. But there's a lot of minor things that happen as well that I'm not going to go into detail about. But that just shows the power of what can happen in 1 year. And frankly, for me, there could have been a lot more that I could have done. I felt like there was more I could have done. I had more potential than that. And so I guess that's kind of me thinking I can do more. Maybe I couldn't have, but besides the point, I'm kind of getting off on a rabbit hole. The thing is, there's so much you can do in 1 year. And it's because a lot of this, I put my mind to it, but I didn't plan as much of it out as I should have. If I would have planned things out more, I would have made more things happen in the past year. So this is what I want to say to you, that 1 year can really change your life. 1 week is not going to change your life. 1 day is not going to change your life unless something dramatic happens. Like I said, my father passing away, that was a life changer for sure. But you having one bad day where things didn't go your way at your job, maybe you messed up a project or something, made a delay on that project, whatever, didn't get that sale. Yes, that could put a damper on the day, maybe the week or the month, but it's not going to put a damper on that whole year. When you look back, I guarantee something like that, you're probably not going to say, man, that made for a terrible year. So what I want to get at is making sure that you write down goals. And that's something I'm going to do for myself this year. And I challenge you to do that and see how many of those goals you can get done this year. I guarantee whether you actually do get them all done or not, if you write them down, you're going to get so much closer to those goals. So I know it's still the first quarter of the year, the first 3 months of the year, but it's still not too late to write down goals that you want to happen for this year or happen till your birthday. It could be something shorter. Maybe your birthday's coming up in a couple of months. Start now. Figure out how to finish off the rest of whatever birth year you're in, how you can make that better. So for me, I'm going to figure out how to make my 28th year on this earth better than the first 27. You know, that's a big thing for me, to try and make that year better than any other year. So I challenge you to go out and do that. That's pretty much it. I mean, if you want to have a good birthday, whatever year you're at, make sure you write down those goals. I challenge you to do that, and I'm challenging myself to do that. So you'll see in an upcoming post where I actually do this myself and write down this year's goals, my 28th year goals. Because every year we get better and better. Kind of like they say, as a wine ages or whatever, it gets, as it ages, it gets better or whatever. I guess it's not a saying, I'm butchering that. But anyways, they say wine, as it gets older, it gets better because it ages. And so that's exactly what can happen for us. You don't have to be in your late 20s. You don't have to be in your late 30s. You don't have to wait till you're 50 to be better. You can start today, this year. Make this birth year the best year for you. And make sure it's for you. Make sure that year is the best for you, not the best that your friend had, trying to beat your friend. Now, if you both are growth junkies, like I'm a growth junkie, that's great. Make those goals. Try and outdo each other. Hold each other accountable to becoming better. But don't just try and beat somebody just to say, oh man, I beat my friend, I'm better than my friend. And at the end of the day, your best is what matters. So guys, go out there, write down those goals you want for this birth year. And whenever your birthday comes up, I hope you have a great birthday. I hope you have a great birth year. Whichever year you're on, I hope it's the best one yet. You guys have a healthy and blessed day.